Today we're going to visit Meikel Reece, a former student, a photographer and designer who's also teamed up with another student, good friends through high school, and now are in a business together. Let's see how things are going. It's been how many years since I had you in class? You and Luke?
See, we graduated 2001.
What is something that what advice would you give to people who want to go into creative endeavor? Because you've been doing a lot. You're a photographer. You also started a business. Talk about those two things.
Yes, and the photography was actually thanks to you. Because I had a grandmother who used the phrase, "You will be the next Picasso," to me. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm not good at this. And I remember you sat me down with her and you're like, this is barbified and it may not be your calling. Mm-hmm. And I thought, finally, I knew it. I knew I wasn't good at it.
But it wasn't your passion.
But I love art.
Yeah.
And you were like, there's so many different ways to express your art other than just drawing and chalk and paint. I'm not good at that. I can't take and put it on paper, but I can see art. And so photography.
Well, I've been seeing your photography and following you on Instagram.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
Hey, thanks. So great.
Awesome.
To do and fulfilling and all that stuff. And your question before, my advice was, when I went into college, I started out in photography and graphic design. Mm-hmm. And then for some reason, I thought I needed to be serious. I couldn't have the arts weren't important. I couldn't make a living off being an artist because I wasn't a painter or whatever. But I ended up being in political science almost all the way through. And I was just depressed, and because political science is no fun, especially in Utah County. And I had 3 classes to go to finish this degree.
Oh my goodness. And
I couldn't do it, and I switched right back to photography, and I'd never been happier. And it's what I always wanted to do. It needed to be something in the arts. It needed to be something creative.
That's great. I mean, I tell people don't go into the arts or don't go into teaching unless it's really what your heart tells you, because it doesn't make any sense otherwise.
Yeah. You can make money. You have to work really, really hard.
Yeah.
But you're doing something you love, so it doesn't feel so difficult.
Okay. The other thing, I'm excited to hear about your business. I know that started about 4 years ago?
Yes, about 4 years ago. And it was really exciting. And it was really fun to do.
Following your posts and...
Yes. But both my partner and I, a former student of yours as well, we have 3 children, 6 children between us, and it wasn't the right time, and we wanted it to be responsibly sourced fabrics, or responsible factories, all that kind of stuff. And it is almost impossible to do that without charging your customer.
Really? A lot. Huh?
A lot, like $95 for a skirt. But, that pays for a factory that treats its workers well and has correct safety practices and all those kind of things. And then, fabric mills that don't employ children and also have safe practices.
Boy, that must have taken a lot of research to figure that out.
Yeah, so it, all the time that we had to put into it to make sure that it was running. And then just, it was kind of, we used a lot of our art background in it, but having to rely so heavily on people's tastes that way was really unsatisfying.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's one thing if it's your art, like a picture or a painting, because that needed to speak to them. This is something that people like physically wear, and it's very fickle what people feel like wearing.
Yeah. Okay, so what's a memory that you have of being in my class, since this is kind of a vlog about
right, like the art part?
Anything.
The thing I remember most about your class is the first day you had Moby on, and I was like, I'm gonna be okay in here.
The play, that was a great album.
Wasn't that great?
Yeah.
But always good music.
Okay.
Constantly good music. And I feel like you saw, because I was not a good student.
Really? You were a great student in my class.
Right. Because I feel like you let people be who they need to be in there. You found stuff for me to be good at instead of, and you let people kind of fail, which I think is really important.
I agree.
And to be like, that's okay. We'll find something that you're good at. And so in that kind of an environment, I was able to do good things. But in other classes, the minute I failed, I wanted out.
And then being able to explore who you are. I mean, that's great. I'm glad you found where you were.
Yeah, I just love, and I think I took your class as a junior, and was very upset that it took me that long to find it, because I actually did better. I mean, I graduated, so there was
Yeah, that's true.
classic artist.
Yeah, I know that 99% of my students will not become artists or a creative designer or anything.
Certainly.
But I want them to be engaged in the, in the arts in some form. I mean,
Absolutely.
Go to art openings or
It's so
go
important.
to museums. I mean, when you travel, and if you went to Paris and you didn't go to the Louvre, and if you only went to the Louvre because you thought you were supposed to, but there was nothing you wanted to see in there, it's kind of robbing someone of a rich cultural experience.
Indeed, and I've had people say, "Well, art makes me upset." Well, it's supposed to.
Yeah.
They don't like the response, like emotional or otherwise, that it causes them. But it brings joy to me, and my kids love it. I'm taking them to museums and trying to get them to see how great it is, and I tell them I'm not the greatest photographer, but it brings me a lot of joy.
That's awesome.
What other creeks are creeks?
Well, let's see your art. I'm curious to see what you collect. Now, who did the bill?
I don't know. So I found it at a thrift shop. And I was like, who did this? This is so cool. And they didn't know. They had no idea. The Arches is my other great-grandfather, who was an oil painter. And he painted that. He set up an easel and kept going back. He hiked it every day for who knows how long.
Whose is this piece?
This one?
Yeah, I really love that.
I know, isn't this great? This woman, I found her on Etsy, but she embroiders and then makes a print of it. She embroiders all that and sews on the fabric. You know Caitlin Connolly, don't you?
Yeah, we went, I took my students there in the fall.
I love this. Just her sketches.
Yeah, I like her sketches as much as I do as
me too.
Yeah, I think they're kind of fresh. Whose is this? Is this a...
Okay, Anne Gregerson.
Yeah.
Are you familiar? She's so great. She gave me that as a graduation present, and I love it so much.
She's
one of my mom's really good friends.
Oh, that is so nice.
And then this is actually from the village I was born in. That's not
Really?
part of it. It's just kind of stuck right there in some. But it was handmade.
Yeah.
There. And then Kirk.
Yeah, nice painting of Kirk's.
Good old Kirk. And then my son did that.
Nice.
I love that.